Before we jump into today's episode, if you're digging Ka-Pow, the pop culture podcast, please know that in 2026, our 10th anniversary year, your support truly matters. Join us on Patreon at patreon.com/youdowwithkpp. Memberships start at just $1 a month and help us bring you even more KPP. You can also support the show with new Ka-Pow merch on our TeePublic store. Please know we appreciate every bit of support, and on with the episode.
You're listening to Ka-Pow, the pop culture podcast. Comics, television, movies, and more. If it impacts fan culture, we have something to say about it. And now, your hosts, Jordan, Cliff, and Seth.
Hey there, everybody. It's Ka-Pow, the pop culture podcast. Back once again. How the heck are you? My name is Jordan Lowe.
I'm Cliff Barnes. I'm just now realizing it's the Friday we're supposed to record.
I'm Seth. I'm the guy who
Late
let him
start. Nobody to blame.
know. No, except I thought I was going to be stuck on that treadmill. I said I'll walk on this treadmill till Cliff sends me the Zoom thing. And he never sent it. I started dropping below 3 miles an hour, and they were shooting at me.
Well, I was
Did a lot
going
of
to
walking.
compliment Cliff.
Go for it. Don't hold back.
I hope you listened to that last episode. We did the bracket about TV vehicles, Battle of the Small Screen Machines. Excellent clip finding from Cliff. Every clip you played had to do with the car in question. Like, it was incredible. You found pertinent clips that all involved the vehicles we were talking about.
It was not
Well,
easy.
That's why they don't call him Clip Barnes for nothing.
Yes, it was not easy to find some of those, and I questioned some of them. I was like, this is as good as it's going to get on this show. So
I was like, okay, where do you find Fred Sanford talking about his driver's license? Where do you go on the internet for that?
Yeah, I'd like to say it was all pre-planned, but not at all. Not at all. Just lucky. My
Lucky.
interweb skills.
You people are just lucky you got them to listen to that.
I used the Google foo and was successful for the most part. So
That was one of our longer episodes in a while, but I think it was worth it. All the little extra touches definitely added to it. And I got all that Airwolf talk. I got on Roku and found Airwolf. I'm like, wait a minute. The pilot was 2 hours, and there were 4 seasons of that show at like 20-some per season. I'm like, that's quite a commitment for just joking about an attack helicopter. So I was for one shining moment, I was gonna get into Airwolf. I'm like, nah, maybe later.
That's a lot of Ernest Borgnine.
I scrolled through a few of the seasons and we're like reading the episode descriptions, and it was pretty funny. Like how they shoehorned in they used the helicopter to do this episode. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to find reasons to use this helicopter.
Yeah.
yeah.
I may go back and read some of those because I can't remember what all. I just remember that sucker, the landing gear going up. You didn't have any landing gear hanging down. It was just so sleek looking. Anyway, that was last episode. Go back and listen to that as we fawn over.
Hey, we're fans of us. I'm wearing the shirt. I'm wearing the merch.
He's got the merch.
I got the TeePublic shirt on.
Yeah.
Is that your Clip Barnes shirt?
I'm the only one that wore a shirt tonight.
I had that thought earlier. I was like, we're in various states of dress over here. Each of us.
Yeah. Nobody told me we had to wear a shirt. I was on the treadmill.
I think there were a few episodes where Michael was shirtless back in the day.
Yeah, come on.
So.
I know he was shoeless. He had to wash his feet before he could record.
That's true. That's true. I forgot about that. Oh, that guy. Oh, wow.
We signed up for a couple new shows this year. So Pro Comics is getting back on the trail.
Where you going?
We're doing the Canton Akron show, the little one-day show at the end of this month. So we're just going to kind of get our feet wet again and get our sea legs.
Got your shoes off.
Yep. And we applied to the Cryptid Con, which is something I followed on Facebook for like 5 years. It used to be in northern Kentucky, and it's moved to a big hotel in Indiana. So it's a ton of like reality TV people on Bigfoot shows and the alien, it might be aliens meme guy and like a ton of cryptid enthusiasts. So we applied to that and they approved us. They said our comics fit their motif, so we got approval for that. So that's in November. Mothman Festival in September.
Man,
we're about to start moving.
That's exciting. The Canton Akron show. Where is that? Have I been to that show?
It's the Six Nicks Comics, the one day thing. I forget what address it is.
I feel like maybe I might be thinking the Kent State show that was just a little bit more north that they had last year. So, but that's cool. It's Hall of Fame weekend for the NFL up in Canton, Ohio. Had the game last night. I think they've got a few more events, concerts where they do the big speeches and everything up there this week. So, pretty exciting.
Pretty exciting. Yeah.
Challenge your imagination to come alive and to battle with the creatures of Dungeons and Dragons.
52!
You sunk my battleship.
I got a bingo! What do I win?
It's Operation the Wacky Doctor's game where you're the Wacky Doctor. Batteries not included.
I blew it. My turn.
Shall we play a game?
Guys, I went to Gen Con. You want to hear about it? Go every year.
Did you get wet?
Did I get wet? Yes. I did get wet, actually. I had an umbrella, at least, but it was really coming down. I
saw some footage of the weather inside and outside.
Yeah, we left right before it started raining inside the Gen Con. But, yeah. My son and I have went since 2015. We go every year. This time only missed. They didn't have it one year for COVID, but we went every other year. We were talking about it on the way up. We're so glad we have this. Nobody can mess with us. This one weekend a year, we get like 5 days. That's our days. Just everybody's back off, and it was awesome. It was a great trip. They sold out. Of course, there's like 74,000 people there at the convention center, and it's got Lucas Oil Stadium and all that. I've told this every year, but there was some construction because they're building a new huge hotel outside, so they'll probably up the amount of people they can fit next year because I have a big new hotel.
I saw some footage, and it looked like they really needed to sell some more tickets to that thing.
I did think it was pretty manageable this year. I've been other years where it was just like, come on, I can't even move.
Everything I saw looked like a sea of people.
Yeah, they're showing you that footage for a reason. They want to go for the shock value. It doesn't look like that the whole time everywhere. It's pretty big in there. There's so many different things to do that you can avoid a lot of that. Anyway, yeah, we got up there on Wednesday, so it was the day before it actually started. We got right up there and went to see the Odyssey in IMAX at the Indiana Museum. we got there a little early. They had like a Indiana Black History exhibit we went through and looked at all that stuff, and then went to see that. It was that place. I mean, it was so crazy. We saw Fantastic Four there last year, and in there, I mean, this is real IMAX 70 millimeter. You know, this is the real deal, and I know it was big last year, but we're seeing it again. Like, you know, I've seen the place once. I saw it again this time. So it takes me a couple times to really get my bearings. That screen is so freaking huge. It's the biggest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like I saw like Endgame and a few other movies in IMAX in Columbus, and those aren't half the size of this. Like, I can't even describe it. It's so huge. And it was so loud, like the sound was so shock. I'd already seen the movie at our theater in the big theater, which I'll never refer to as that again. This is like 10 times the size. Not even 10, like a million times the size of that screen. But it's like, and it was just like there was no sound at our theater compared. Like every raindrop in that movie was like crushing you. It was very in your face. Like, I was not ready for that, but it definitely made it an experience to see the Odyssey like that, and made me enjoy it more. But it's good, but crazy. You gotta do it sometime. And we went for like a nice walk before the movie. We got there early, and like they have all these cool apartments down there, and there's like a waterway you can walk down. You can get paddle boats and do all this stuff. It's really nice. Went and ate at our fave Thai or Bodhi's restaurant we go to every year, and got in there, and it was awesome. And then the next day we got up. Nick had a tournament. He plays in this unmatched game by Restoration Games, and anyway, it's just like they have like endless characters. It's, you know, a million different properties, but he plays in that every year. He collects those. And I went to the hall. We ate at Harry and Izzy's, which is this really ritzy place but they always have like deals around Gen Con, make it like affordable enough to eat there. So we ate there, a couple lunches. And then we played Dragon Age. I usually don't get to play. I'm always running a Dragon Age game. So we got in a thing there and played. You know, both got to play together. It was like 5-hour session. That was pretty fun. And we ate at that Rathskeller's German restaurant that we always eat at. And it was awesome also. And good time. Then on Friday, he had another tournament. I was standing there waiting for the hall to open. There was nothing that I needed to rush in. It's a really good feeling to not have to be like something I got to get. I got to beat the crowd. I didn't have to do that. So I was just waiting until everybody went in. And one of the Critical Role people was just walking around. He saw me look at him and recognized him. And it was Robbie Damon. And he was like, "Hey." I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" We talked for a second. And he's like, "You want a picture?" I was like, "Sure." And we got a picture, and he's like, "Oh, we got natural light. Let's go over here." It was like, just like, does nobody see this guy? Like, he's very well known in the gamer community or whatever, but I'm sure he had taken a million pictures, but it just felt like nobody else saw him. Anyway, he was very nice. He's no Flippity Frog or whatever that guy's name is. What's
Froggy
his name?
Flips?
Froggy Flips.
Oh, Anthony?
I don't know.
He lives in Indiana, not right outside of Indianapolis.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, he might have been there. For Wizards of the Coast had so much stuff going on that they actually rented out a theater around the corner. Like every floor of this theater was something else. Like you had to, I didn't understand it. I was like, let's walk over there and see what's going on. We went over there, and the girls out front were like, yeah, you have to have a ticket. You just go, it's just, there's events, and a lot of them are free. She's like, just go in there and get a ticket, and then you'll be able to go in. But only certain ways. Like whatever we signed up for, we had to go up to the 4th floor in the parking garage and enter the building that way. It was just like, so, and something else went in a different way. It was neat. I was like, is this going to be stupid? Is what I was like. I didn't know what we were getting into. They were having like actual live plays with like, some guy for Critical Role. Matt Mercer was there. There was a bunch of their celebrities, and they were doing like on Thursday they did their announcements. Big Wizards of the Coast Dungeons and Dragons announcement stuff, and I'll tell you about that in a second. But that was pretty cool. But anyway, we got up there and there was they had a carnival, which was kind of blew me away. I could not believe, after going up through a parking garage, what we were going into. And we went in there and they had this, well, it's an old hotel anyway, so it has like very good ambiance. But you go in there and it was like a medieval carnival in this big open room, and they had the tents and the strings of lights everywhere, and everybody was dressed up like Renaissance.
Full on Ren Fair.
It was, yeah, but they were all like actors. They were all like, I assume, local actors, and there was just like a bunch of them juggling and doing all this stuff. Like, it was crazy. And then what they had set up was strictly for D&D. It was they took the different attributes like strength, charisma, dexterity, etc. And everybody had like a different set of them, on your little ticket. And you would go through and you had to pass a task of some sort to get your stamp, to get prizes at the end. Anyway, but it was really not chintzy. Like for like dexterity, you had to throw these rings and get them around the horn on a, creature thing they had. One was like intelligence. There was these puzzles you had to do, and there was Constitution. I don't remember what. Oh, Constitution. I don't remember what that was. I don't know. Strength. They had the like big hammer, and you hit to ding the bell. I've never done that in my life. Okay, never in my life have I done that. And I was like, we had to do it for this. Like, you had to do it. It didn't matter if you ding the bell or not, but they had like. It had up the thing, you're this, you're that. The top one was barbarian, if you could ding the bell and stuff. And there's just, everybody had to do it. So there's just a line of people for each of the things. And it's like, I was just like, man, I'm going to ding the shit out of that bell. I was told Nick, I was like, I'm probably in the best shape of my life. I was like, I'm ready to just, I can't wait to do this. And he's like, okay, he's like 3 times as big as me. I was like, there's all these people like, there's some people doing it, but there's a whole shit ton of nerds that can't even freaking get that hammer to hit the thing. They're like, it's a heavy hammer, and like, I was like, oh man, it's kind of embarrassing to watch some people. And I'm like standing in line. I was like, now when I get up here, I was like, I want to, I'm on a videotape of this. I'm going to ding I was like, I am fucking going to ding the shit. And he's like, Dad, you are talking a lot of shit. Yeah. And I was like, that's true. I was like, it was like a reality check. I was like, you're right. And I was like doing everything before him, I was just like getting in line. He was standing by me. I was like, you're right. And like, these people are like missing the thing and, barely getting it up the thing. Some of them are ding. I mean, I'm going to say it wasn't like you had to be, some huge, strong person to ding the bell, but I just felt so confident. And I get up there and picked up that hammer, and I was like, I was like, oh man. And then I started getting nervous. But I was like, because I just watched so many people whiff. And I swung that thing. I was like, oh shit, am I gonna hit this thing? I bet, I was like, I put the thing through. If it could have went through the bell, it would have went through the bell. I hit that thing so fucking hard. And I look over at Nick, and he is like looking at my phone, trying to figure out how to do it. I was like, you didn't get the. He's like, you did it too fast. You ran up there. I was like, oh, I was like so freaking irritated. I was like, I'm gonna let this go. I was like, but if I still had a hammer, I would be dinging your bell ring. I'm so mad. Because I was like so worried the last second I wasn't gonna do it, and then I crushed it. Anyway, and then they had you had one of your attributes was like everybody had different ones. Yeah, they split them up 6 ways or whatever. And so ours was charisma. And I wish I would have asked him this today. I can't remember how he did it. I know part of it. But ours was you had to go up there and there was going to be 2 cups and you were going to poison one of the drinks. So you had to convince the actor person to drink the right cup to get your thing. And we had to have it because everybody had one special one you had to do. The other ones you might have been able to cheat a little bit or something. I don't remember all the deal. We did everything, but this one, I was like, the line was so long. I was like, I don't want to stand in line again for a 50-50. This was the one thing that just felt like a 50-50 chance. They're either going to pick the cup or they're going to pick the other one. Like, how are you really going to convince,
inconceivable.
Exactly. It was exactly that. And they had like 6 different people up there doing it at a time. You would go up there and anyway, I'm up there. I heard Nick says, I didn't hear he got them to drink the right one, but he said that if you drink the one without poison in it, my son will die. I don't remember the rest of it, how he got them to drink the right one, but he at least went up there with a funny story. I went up there and put the poison in it and then spun it around. And the guy aimed the one. So the poison was in front of him. He's like, and he kind of stood there and was looking at me. What do you think about that? I was like, I don't know. I kind of reached for mine. I was like, it's like, I don't know. What do you think? He's like, are you happy with this? I was like, yep. And I just picked up my cup and acted like a drank it. And he's like, I cheated. I just grabbed the cup that I knew wasn't poison. And he's like, he's like, I'm poison. he's like, you got me. Anyway, it was very high production value for a free thing. They were really trying to impress the people there And then we went up to the bar.
I heard that's what they have done a lot in recent years in San Diego at Comic-Con, where like the con itself is becoming a little too bloated, too big, too hard to deal with. But like around San Diego, all these installations and activations and events and carnivals and things have popped up where you can go to San Diego that weekend and just go do stuff like that and without even ever going in the convention center. So these companies put a lot of effort and money and creativity into stuff like that to go viral and to be the big thing of the weekend that everyone's talking about.
Yeah, they had a Zoltar machine. This was I don't remember what the test was. This was probably Constitution. I don't know what it was. You had to stare. It was a Cyclops in the machine instead of Zoltar or whatever. And so it was like a animatronic thing, and he would open his eye, and you had to stare at him, and the actor guy would stare, would watch you and make sure you didn't blink. If you blinked before the thing, then you had to get back in line to do it again. But so it was funny. Like I just couldn't believe it was really cool looking. Anyway, and then afterwards, you went up to the bar with your ticket and all the stamps you got or whatever, and they gave us so much stuff. It was like for D&D. It was like dice and maps and minis and stuff that if you bought, like if we would have bought this stuff, I mean, I guarantee it was extra. It was like stuff that they just hadn't sold in the last few years.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It was the stuff that hadn't went. But it's like, it's still, each of us easily walked with a couple $100 worth of stuff, and they were just giving it just giving this stuff out like crazy. Like tarot cards and all, just all kinds of crazy stuff. It was amazing. I was really very impressed. And that was just one of the, that was the 4th floor parking garage. Like, I don't even know. There's 7 floors to that place. We never
made it out of the parking garage all weekend.
Yeah. They had tons of, there's a million video games and pinball machines and all this stuff that you could stop and play. But they had but they would do shows, their D&D celebrity things. And like David Arkenstone, like composer or whatever, he does the D&D soundtracks and things, and they were playing was there with an orchestra playing live. You could go watch, and that was pretty awesome. But yeah, Thursday night they had their announcements, and like the big announcements were they brought out Joe Manganiello was talking about. They had brought out all these old D&D creators, Luke Gygax, and old D&D writers. Luke's not old school, but like a couple old ones, and people that like appreciate the 80s type D&D, 70s, 80s type D&D, and they coming back to have them write some stuff. That's some new thing. They're trying to win back old school people. And they were announcing, they announced seasons of D&D, and what Dark Sun is coming back, which is just a setting that's really bloody. And then they announced they're doing a D&D version with World of Warcraft. So any World of Warcraft people out there's going to be World of Warcraft D&D books. And then the Season of Rebellion was the last one they announced after the whole hour thing, and then they're having D&D Star Wars. Like that was the big finale, was to announce they're doing a Star Wars RPG with D&D rules. So that'll be a big thing. There is a system. There's other Fantasy Flight had a system, and there's Weston Games did and stuff. But it's interesting to see that they're going to do something with that, because I think a lot of Star Wars fans out there. So we will see. Anyway, let me see. What else did we do? That was a good time, basically. Then that night we went and saw Spider-Man in Dolby, and we'll talk about that later. Saturday, he had another tournament. He had one every morning, I think. I basically was trying to get my shopping done finally. Got walking around there, and I got so many minis for our Dragon Age game, and got some cool stuff for my hidden movement sniper game. And I've been wanting to do a dark sci-fi RPG. Just kind of change it up from fantasy for a little while, and I got a bunch of stuff for that. So looking forward to that. And then I saw this. I have a board game, and there was like some cool upgrades that this company was doing, and it is just so awesome. I'm not even gonna tell you about it. This is what I texted you guys. You guys are. You will enjoy playing this board game. Like, it is, you guys, Jesse and stuff over here, it's going to be a good time. And I spent a bundle. So,
is it running around Riverdale?
Oh, man. It's running around Riverdale 2.
Yeah, the sequel.
So you...
It's a little... It'll be good. It'll be good.
Do you pick up most of your supplies at Gen Con for like the entire year, or are you still buying stuff throughout the year?
I'm always buying stuff.
Yeah. I just wondered, like, is this, this is the Mecca. This is where you go to get the stuff.
Yeah. This is where I get the stuff that is new, like, or stuff I just can't, this a lot of times I'll see stuff that I just, somebody just came out with for Gen Con, it's like something new. So like I got there was a Kickstarter last year for this sci-fi game I'm wanting to start, and I didn't do it, but then that company was there and had the stuff. I could just buy it, and the pieces that I specifically wanted. So I was glad I didn't do their Kickstarter. I just get the stuff I needed, and that kind of stuff. That people bring things, physical things that I, have not been able to buy, and there's just minis that I don't normally see, and I don't have to pay for shipping. So like, I'll go there and buy as much stuff as that I know I'm going to be buying anyway, or need later in the campaign, some creature or something. I'm like, I get it now, and I don't have to pay for shipping. But I get that kind of stuff. We got a couple 2-player games. One we've already played 3 times. It's really good. Some train robbery game. Yeah, and then we were leaving that night. We left that afternoon to just go back to the hotel and play that game. And then all of a sudden we realized, okay, well, we're hungry. Let's just go eat at Bodie's again. We're not going to get to for a year. We love it. Let's go there again. Well, it's right about then. It starts pouring the rain. I'm like, man, it is really raining. We took off anyway, went and got down that direction, and then our phones all went crazy for this tornado warning, that there was a tornado in the area, and we were out in front of Rathskeller's, and we're like, well, let's just freaking eat here. Let's just park and go in here, and they were telling to get off the roads and everything. So we went in there. I was so wet. I get in there, and that place is wet. Like we don't normally get reservations anywhere because you can get a seat in the bar and you don't need a reservation. There's always just 2 of us. But the bar was flooded, and I was like, okay, well, I don't know what we're going to do now. And there was these 3 nerds standing there, and we started talking to them, and we're like, hey, we don't have a reservation. So they just added us onto theirs, and it was awesome. We had an awesome dinner with them, and just got to chit chat with these guys, see what they were into, what they were playing. We all feasted. I mean, that place is good, and I'm German, so I love that stuff. And Nick loves sauerkraut and stuff like that too. There's plates of sausages and everything everywhere, and we were
worst. All the schnitzel,
the best and the worst, yeah. And then when it was done, when we're all stuffed, then they came out and said because of the, storm and kind of excuse our mess thing, they gave us free desserts and free dessert coffees, which are like alcoholic coffees. Between the 5 of us, we had like probably $150 worth of free coffees and desserts, and it was awesome. We got had a good time. That night we went and saw that new movie, Olivia Wilde and Cooper Hoffman. It was good, and it earned but didn't go pick up my Hobbit badge or something. They had the there and back again thing if you walked 50,000 miles. I mean, not miles, 50,000 steps in those few days. Yeah, in those few days, you could go get a thing. I walked the steps, but I didn't go pick it up. Oh, nothing. Yeah, and we were the only thing we didn't get to do. Did I tell you guys about the Matthew Lillard thing? The company he owns, or he's a part of, him and some other people, I believe. Beetle and Grimm's.
He's usually there.
Yeah, he was there this time. He's always there, and they but they have they do high end. They'll take a book, a setting, or something that D&D did, and then they let them look at it, and they get create high end versions of it, handouts and better, actual like coins or like some special things from it, jack up the price like for the people that want to pay for this. And then they also did a show a couple years ago called Faster Purple Worm Kill, and it's basically a set of adventures where you take first level characters and they and you run them through some adventure, and at the end they're all going to die because they're going to go up against some big bad in the D&D universe, and there's just no way they're going to win. But it's a good one-shot adventure. And they did a show. It's on Tubi, maybe Tubi or Pluto. You can watch where the different celebrities in that genre go on there and play an adventure from that and get killed. But anyway, they have a book. They have a book, and they're coming out with a new book. I got to get the first one, so that was cool. But anyway, they had an event which Nick and I signed up for when a few months ago when you could submit your wish list. This was each ticket was $350, but there was only 5 seats, and of course everybody else, well, not everybody else, but a lot of people were going to try to get a seat. It was for charity. And I was like, it's kind of a once in a lifetime thing, Nick. I was like, I'll pay for my seat if you pay for yours. I was like, let's at least submit it, see if we get the event. And what it was you got to play a new adventure for that, and Matthew Lillard was going to be the dungeon master for that session or whatever. I was like, that would have been fun to say we did that and get to brag about it or whatever and get it, but we didn't get the tickets. Some other people got killed by Shaggy. Anyway,
it's probably
that's about it.
3 nerds you had dinner with.
Yeah, might have been.
It's their good karma coming back at them.
Yeah. One guy had a Teenage Mutant Turtle sleeve. He didn't have it all done. Like he had it was like green tattoos all over his arm and up his shoulder, and he had been in the military, and one of the other guys had been in the military too. And it's like, you don't know what we're getting here, who we're sitting down with. But I was like, I could not tell what his tattoos were, but I was like, I'm gonna make him tell me what they are, so just in case it's some cringy thing, I can I can give him shit about it, or let's spice this conversation type thing. But he's like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I was like, oh, of course they are, and so that was they were very nice. And yeah, I heard a cab thrown around a couple times. I was like, these are my guys. That's about it. We had a great freaking trip. It was one of the better ones. Like, it was definitely in the top half of trips to Gen Con, because we just ate so good and watched 3 freaking movies and got to see IMAX, Dolby, and just freaking did it all, played games, and got to spend time together. So
yeah,
I recommend. Gen Con is awesome. We're going to keep going as long as we can.
So was the, because I saw this footage of booths getting flooded out and stuff, was that as big a problem as the internet was making it, or was it just a very isolated?
Now the people that I saw this stuff too, it fell on some, this one places. And there's only really one booth that I heard that was really affected, and that they got their stuff out of the way pretty quick. But for the most part, nobody seemed too concerned about it, and that a lot of people, most of the posts I saw about it were like, giving props to the cleanup crew at the convention center, how quick they were out there getting things cleaned up so people could go on them with their con, and they were a pretty tight ship there. So it's a very well done event.
Gets bigger every year, it sounds like.
Oh my gosh. And literally, there are thousands of places that people are playing games. You cannot walk by a room in that convention center that there isn't. You just look. If you open up a door, there are people in there playing games. And it's usually an organized event. They just have so many. Every company, they're just endless people playing freaking games. It's kind of amazing.
And that probably only works if like the crowd is good and the crowd is into it and accommodating and nobody's a jerk about stuff.
Yeah.
You can run that many people and that complicated of a setup.
And like he said, there is it can get pretty tight in there. Honestly, I the first Thursday right off the bat, it was pretty tight when I went in there, but I even thought on Saturday I had a little more breathing room than usual, but still, it's nothing like any con I've been to with you guys. Like it's like it would. I'm used to it, but it's very claustrophobic. Like it can be. I could see people not even be able to go to this con because of how packed it is. But you kind of learn to move in and out of people.
Yeah.
And everybody's pretty, I mean, really, as far as that, the crowd is extremely cool. I didn't run into any jerks the whole time, so. That's about it. That's it.
Another one in the books, huh?
That's right.
Save Martha!
Puny God.
I'm just a kid from Brooklyn.
I'm Batman.
Kneel before Zod!
On the roof!
Said it yourself, bitch. We're the Guardians of the Galaxy.
So what's it gonna be, huh? Long sullen silence? Or mean comment? Go on.
You got me in a box here.
Saw some movies. Should we go into more detail about some recent movies that have come out here soon?
Yeah, let's do that.
Jordan, where are you on theaters and movie going? And I mean, we're more than halfway through the year here. Have you made it out?
A couple. I think all the ones I said I was going to, except the Odyssey. I haven't seen that yet.
I did not see it either. My wife and daughter went and saw it.
I was thinking you did.
Yeah, they went and saw it. I honestly just had zero interest in it. That's not up my alley. So
I want to see it. It's going to be nominated for everything at the end of the year. But I don't get the feeling I'll be blown away by it. So yeah, I wasn't in a huge rush to get out there. And this might be blasphemous, especially with who I'm talking to here. But like, I saw this little featurette. We like featurettes. And it was like showing the behind the scenes stuff of the IMAX. And it was like they have to deliver it on a truck. And then big burly men have to cart it out. And it's these giant spools like the size of a dining room table with like so many hundreds of thousands of feet of film. And they have to load it on these giant complicated machines and run it through all these thimbles and spools.
Keep going.
And I'm watching this video and I'm like, really? Is this worth it?
Yes.
Put it on a thumb drive. Just put it on a thumb drive.
No.
It's like that's a whole lot of effort for it. So like as I said, there's only so many IMAX screens and there's only so many people are going to get to be able to see it that way that it's like you're putting an awful lot into this that so few people will appreciate.
Oh, I don't know. It's so every IMAX screening sold out for the next 2 months. So
now, have you been to one of those new Screen X theaters that experience yet?
Is that supposed? What's that? 40X or is it something else?
No, the Screen X is like, you have your center movie. Regular screen, and then it extends out and around.
No, that's not. I don't think there's like a ton of those.
There's
happening.
one in Columbus.
Yeah, I mean, there's one that I saw where months ago people were watching The Matrix, and most people weren't very. It's like I have the lights that come out by my TV, like extend it. That's what that feels like to me. Like that's cool at home, but I don't need to go somewhere and have lights coming out from behind the screen necessarily.
Well, I don't think it's lights behind the screen. Like it's like at Walt Disney.
Yeah, I know what it is. I'm just saying
like
it's
the surround
equivalent of that
theater. Yeah. I'd like to experience that.
Yeah. go for it. You would experience that over IMAX?
I've experienced IMAX.
Real IMAX?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Why? What IMAX
real
counts and what doesn't?
If
it says IMAX on it.
No, that's not IMAX.
Oh, it's just it's false advertising.
It's Limax. Yeah, it's not real IMAX.
Not real.
Have we not had this conversation before? Like the IMAX where I saw Endgame stuff in Columbus or whatever, that is like not even half the size of real IMAX. And like this there's less than 50 in the country theaters that even have it in the country. And
so what's the point if no one
because there's no
the country can't.
Well, that's just it. There are no these projectors and all that. There isn't, and nobody's making IMAX projectors. These are literally the old IMAX has been around since the probably 80s. These are that old technology. Nobody's making them. They're just taking the old stuff and refurbishing it. There's very few of them. You know, it's like crazy, but people are into the niche going to the movies for special things. Like that seems to be like, I mean, the movies are doing well in that area. Like people like to go to the special stuff, you know, so yeah, but that's why there's just not very many projectors, so you don't need very many screens. And but anyway, IMAX 70 millimeter real stuff is there. I've had to go to Indianapolis to see it at the College Theater. That's you know, because there aren't very many of those. Many people are driving like 5 hours to go see it because it's it's so freaking huge and sounds so good. Like, I mean, it's just it is an experience. It's nuts.
That sounds like quite an odyssey to take.
It's a whole trip. If it's not, if you're not into it, that's totally fine. I'm trying to explain why people are into it. I'm into it.
I know they have those, you know, they've got the ScreenX, they have the new 4DX theaters where, you know, it's like a ride at Disney World. You move all around.
Well, the thing is, I was thinking about that too. Like, I've never done that other than Disney World stuff. But it's like, I can't imagine. I guess if my seat was moving also. I felt like my seat was moving anyway. And this and the Dolby Spider-Man were so almost obnoxious how intense both of these things were. It was just like, I can't imagine any more. I could not take any more stimulation, you know, than what was happening in those two movies in those theaters. Is insane. I wish, I know I'm not gonna be able to do it justice to explain what it's like, but it's like freaking crazy.
Have you ever been to IMAX theater at COSI?
Yeah, I've been at COSI many times. I'm sure I have. I remember watching movies there. Back when all they showed you was it's all nature things or soaring, very soaring type stuff. Like, but you know, you're doing the space or you're underwater or you're there. You know, there's all that's the type of stuff that IMAX was only ever used for. Till Nolan's like, we have to do something with this. You know,
I got mixed. I know you like the Odyssey, right?
I like the experience more than the movie. I did not love the movie.
I asked Carly and Alicia about it, and I got mixed vibes from.
I liked it better the second time because I often do because I know what I'm getting, and so I appreciated more of and the story made, you know, the things clicked better the second time. I got to think about it more, you know, what he's trying to do, but and it was awesome the second time, and you know, it's a lot better way of seeing it.
Yeah, I saw the comparison of like trying to watch the screen comparison of what you see on.
It's not. I did too. It does. It's still. It's. I wish I could put you in that. I wanted to I was like, could you guys just be here for a second so I didn't have to try to explain how crazy much bigger it is. It's like a 10-story building in front of you of screen, and you're just in a little seat.
It almost seems like too much to me. Like
it is almost too much. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like I was like, gosh, it's crazy. It's so big. Yes, you're getting there. It's almost too much.
Any other movies taking up your summertime?
Nope.
Yeah, well, yeah. I saw that. I Want Your Sex was that movie that we watched with Olivia Wilde and Cooper Hoffman, and she had just done The Invite with Seth Rogen, which he plays an extremely different character or whatever, but both were really good. I like The Invite a lot more, but this was still cool. And that theater was still that theater that only held 40 people for this movie. Its screen was 2.5 times the size of our big screen. I was like, this is ridiculous. Why? It just really made me mad of what I have, how I can watch movies here.
Yeah. There's a couple of those theaters at the mall that I swear, I mean, they don't.
I just started to get used to not being mad about it, and then I went on this trip, and now I'm mad about it again.
Yeah, they don't. There's not much difference in feeling than watching it in my living room and watching it at those theaters. Yeah.
It's better in your living room. Half the time it looks clearer, it's crisper.
That's true. So,
I felt like last time I went to the mall, I felt like I needed a hard hat. They were like tearing stuff down off the facade out front in these big bucket trucks. Like people were walking in and out of the mall. It's like, you guys are doing major construction right now at like 8 p.m. This is weird.
Yeah, I've had that happen a couple times coming out of a later movie, and they're in there working. I'm like, can you just wait? But
no, we got to get these ducks in here.
Yeah,
get the ducks back in the mall.
Right, for sure. That's definitely going to happen.
All right, then I guess we better get to Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Hi, my name is Peter Parker. I have something to tell you that's going to sound crazy. But it's the truth.
You're the Spider-Man.
Can't tell anybody about this. Gotta keep it a secret.
Okay.
Thank you. Everybody good?
Yeah, Spider-Man!
We used to know each other. We were together. But something bad was gonna happen. Me. And the only way to stop it was to do the hard thing. You're gonna forget who I am.
What?
What are you talking about?
I'm gonna come and find you. And I'll explain everything.
You're better. I love you. I love you. Just wait and tell me when you see me again.
My name is Peter Parker, and I would like a coffee.
Is there anything else?
Maybe I'll never read this to you. No. Maybe I'm just writing this for me. And maybe that's my responsibility, to live alone with the truth. Because I'm not just Peter Parker. I'm Spider-Man.
We're faced with a threat that can be anyone.
You sure you want to do this, Scorpion?
You think I'm Scorpion?
Talk to Banner?
No Banner. Only Hulk.
I'm sorry, but you're in danger. What? I promised you that I would keep you safe. Please, you just have to trust me. Come on.
Fine.
You're the only one who can sense it.
Hey, can we do this one at a time, please?
You're the only one who can defeat it.
The Spidey Tracker app says that Spider-Man is in the direct vicinity.
Oh yeah? No way, that's crazy.
We are going to spoil this eventually. If I assume you've seen it because everyone has. It became the highest grossing movie of 2026 in 7 days.
I can't believe I did not put this number one.
It took a week, 1 full week, to become the number one movie of the year.
It's
breaking
insane.
all those like one highest Thursday whatever that like it broke all kind of records that every movie seems to break, but this one broke all of them.
I chose Toy Story as my number one movie this summer simply because I thought you guys would all pick Spider-Man. I was like, well, if I have a chance of winning,
we all
I gotta be different.
I was so waffling about that, and then I just couldn't risk it, and I feel so stupid.
So this was the biggest domestic debut in box office history with 360 million, and the second largest global debut of all time with 932 million. It was the second quickest movie to surpass $1 billion. It took 6 days to pass $1 billion, where Avengers Endgame did it in 3 days, which is even more insane. But so this was the second quickest after Endgame. People still love Marvel, but even more than the Marvel brand, I think people just love the character of Spider-Man, and they love these actors. They were everywhere. Every time I saw TV or internet, like those people were doing press. They were doing funny little interviews, games, and eating
Tom
Halloween.
Holland, Zendaya, and John Bernthal are also all three in the Odyssey. So they're everywhere.
So they've been doing press all year apparently, and it must have worked because they did the legwork and got out there and sold this sucker.
You guys saw it. You saw it before I did, so
I went Thursday.
Yeah.
It was playing at a bunch of screens in the mall,
and
I like it played at 7:30, 8, 8:10, 8:30. So I'm like, I'll just leave from work and go down there. And I checked the app. I was like, oh, it looks like there's a whole bunch of seats left for whenever. So like, I'll just run down at 7, buy an 8 o'clock ticket, go have dinner, whatever. So I get down there about 7:20, 7:30. I was like, can I get a ticket for 8:10 or whatever it was? And they're like, the gray ones are sold out. I was like, there were like 5 seats left, and I was in the second row, clear on the end against the wall. I'm like, oh, the app showed way more seats than this still available, but that's all right. That was the biggest screen that it was playing on at the moment. So I took that. Pretty good crowd, no weird annoyances or anybody, but like very full. I haven't been to a movie that full in a while. Even a premiere opening night usually is a couple dozen people maybe. So I could tell pulling into the mall and having to park 8 rows deep past JCPenney that something was going on on a Thursday night.
Yeah, I saw it in Dolby, which I was really excited to be able to get tickets for that. Also, you don't get to see Dolby. I remember seeing Mission Impossible in '96 at Myrtle Beach in THX, in a THX theater, and just being so excited. It was awesome. It's like, and that's kind of what the equivalent of Dolby to me. Like it just was like, I know this is going to sound great. This is supposed to sound great, but also they've, supposed to look great too. I guess they had this whole presentation before the movie that they show, and it was so also obnoxious. It was like almost too loud. I think how many times at our theater I'm like, turn it up. It's like I can't, it's not loud enough for this. It's like, I was like, I'm like, I wish they would turn it down a little bit. So loud. It was just crazy. It looked great. It sounded great, but it was like, again, every little thing that happened in that movie was like a punch in the face. Like every raindrop in it, it was just like nuts.
Well, I feel like this movie, even on a crappier screen, looked better than a lot of recent comic book movies. Like the action was really sharp. A lot of it was set in the daytime. All these big fight scenes in the rain, first fighting a big army of gray monsters or whatever. Like this was bright daylight, You could see every punch, everything that was happening. So I think the movie looked good anyway. So on a good screen, I'm sure it was amazing.
Yeah.
So Cliff, you didn't even get to see it till later because everything was sold out.
Yeah, well, yeah, there were going to be several of us, and so trying to find seats. I looked Thursday. I knew I wasn't going Thursday, and I saw how many, how the theaters were all pretty full. So I was like, well, we'll go Friday. And then I looked for Friday, and I was like, unless we want to sit in the front row or go to the 9:30 showing, we're going to wait till Sunday. So we waited till Sunday. And, yeah, I mean, it was still, good crowd of people in that theater. We did not see it in the, dink dink big theater, there in Parkersburg, but, I think we were in auditorium 3. Yeah, 3. So
1 and 2 are have the big screen.
Yeah.
3. Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, I mean, it was fine. The experience, it was a movie at the mall. not the best.
I just, after this trip, I'm like, more and more, I'm like, hey, I'm just going to, if there's something really important to me, I'm going to go to Columbus. Like, I've got my Doomsday tickets for up there. It's like not risking it. Even though this whole Infinity Vision is BS. That's not even anything. They're advertising Infinity Vision. That's Marvel's thing. They immediately made up because Dune stole all the IMAX theaters. So they're like, uh-oh, we have Infinity Vision. And all the theaters are ready for it. They've all been meticulously set up for Infinity Vision. You didn't do anything.
Do you guys have a feeling about Doomsday? Like, I have a feeling, like, I've had it for a while, that it's not going to do what they think it's going to do.
I think it's going to do really well.
I don't think it'll be anywhere as big as this Spider-Man movie has been.
I just feel like when we get closer, that when they start
so
these actors,
are you going out on a limb and saying it's not going to be as big as the biggest movie ever?
Right.
That's quite a reach.
Really,
Cliff.
yeah. No, but
I think it's going to be very successful.
I think, they put it at Christmas, thinking it was going to be the thing, and I don't think it's going to do what they were hoping it does. I saw way more people months ago being more excited about Spider-Man than Doomsday down the road.
Yeah, but now with what they're introducing with this Spider-Man, and then people want more, and people like
maybe
to see they'll like to see the old stuff and see how it's being sent. I just think I cannot see saying that this is going to flop or anything like this.
I'm not saying it's going to flop. I'm saying it's no way. I don't think it'll be Infinity War. I think that's what they're expecting it to be, is Infinity War, and I don't think it's going to quite do that.
I mean, that's a pretty big. I think it doesn't have to be Infinity War to be a big success.
I found that interesting when these Disney movies, that statement they released recently about Moana and Mandalorian, of like, these were box office flops. They failed, and they said, like, but it sold a lot of merchandise. It drove people to the theme parks. It expanded our brand awareness. Like, all the things Disney's interested in, they accomplished big time.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's what a movie makes on its opening weekend is becoming less and less important to the culture at large and the CEOs in charge. So
yeah, Amazon and MGM put a similar thing out about Masters of the Universe once it came out onto streaming and on Prime and was immediately the biggest streaming thing. And then they started talking about how much sales they've done in toys and merch and all, bringing the brand back, and they're probably going to do another one and all this stuff. So yeah, I get that.
Which is also just a big fat excuse for failure as well. But there is some truth to it as well.
Yeah.
All I'll say is, when Spider-Man tickets went on sale, told you guys, this is nuts. Like they're crashing the Fandango site here. I'm trying to get tickets, and it's this went on sale. It's really hard to get, and I got them. And the same thing happened. They didn't crash the site, but I did not get the tickets I wanted for Doomsday. It sold out.
That is the one benefit of our crappy theater is I can just stroll in whenever I feel like watching it. Like I never usually have trouble getting into it.
Every time I go in our theater, though, when I go in our theater and there's a million people in there or people walking in, I always walk to the center row, center seats, because I bought mine the minute they went on sale. I paid the $1 to get 2 seats with my pass, and I'm just like, I want good seats for stuff. So at the very least, I'm not sitting in the front row or whatever, or off to the side. But I think Doomsday is going to do fine. So
Cliff, you are the least spider friendly of the group. You seem to still enjoy the movie. So where let's start with your baseline. Where did you stand on this one?
I didn't really have, I wouldn't say I had any type of high expectations for it at all. The Tom Holland movies have been fine for me. I'm never probably going to run out and rush and buy tickets early or be there opening night or any of that for the most part. So yeah, I didn't have high expectations for it. I thought it was probably going to be pretty dark for a Spider-Man movie going into it. And, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good movie. Thought it was a good Marvel movie. I think it did really good things in it. I agree that I also really liked that, hey, Spider-Man's running around in a suit during the day, out in public. He's just being a superhero. I liked that a lot. I did notice that right off the bat. And, I thought it had good screen time for the big, cameo heroes and stuff. I thought they way overplayed these classic villains that they kept showing and that were literally on the screen for 2 seconds.
See, I loved that so much that after those trailers made it look like it was overstuffed with villains, I was like, it was my one, I was kind of reserving like, I just think they got too many people in this movie. And then to watch this first 5 minutes, I was just grinning from ear to ear. I was like, oh, that is perfect. They were trolling us with showing us all this stuff, and then they just flashed through them, barely used them, and just showing us the cool covers and all this, showing all the stuff he's been doing. I'm like, that was so perfect. I love that.
No, it was bad luck to all the comic book speculators out there who've been buying heavy the past few months on Tarantula, Tombstone, and Ramrod back issues, thinking they were going to cash in.
Yeah, the one guy.
Better luck next time.
They're going to be out front of your store selling them.
Yeah, the one guy I don't think I even caught in that montage of whatever. I was like, it was just
Boomerang. Yeah,
it was a lot of nothing.
I loved it.
But yeah,
there's a million villains like that. It's like, that's fine. Just throw them up there for a minute.
That's so comic booky. It was such a comic booky movie. Like, I love that.
I really enjoyed the Punisher stuff. I like the Hulk stuff. I love that they brought, had a feeling, but brought back the big savage Hulk and got rid of the dumb smart Hulk. I don't think anybody really
dumb smart Hulk.
Yeah, he was supposed to be smart, but it was a dumb thing. So I was happy to see, they got back to that. That was cool. Putting the fear back into the Hulk character, I thought was really cool. I really like this Punisher. It's really grown on me from the going back to the Netflix series. I really.
Did you watch Punisher Last Kill?
Yes.
How do they reconcile? Jordan, did you watch Punisher last kill?
Yeah.
How do they get from that? That is really tough for me. I almost hated that Punisher last kill. Like, I much prefer this Punisher, but it's just like it was
episode,
so over the top.
It seemed like they were trying to sand off those edges, get him back in the costume. Like, this was a setup for his appearance, but like, it didn't go near far enough.
Any of those kids that saw this movie are like, "Gosh, I really like the Punisher. Let's go watch the Punisher on Disney Plus," and they're gonna need therapy. Like,
actually, that's exactly what happened with Carly. She'd never heard of the Punisher before. She had no clue.
She's in therapy now.
And she spent several days going back to the Netflix series and trying to get through it. But I like where they've gotten to with the character. I liked that last thing at the end, when he finally makes that decision, he's going to, be somewhat of a hero and costume up and all that. I was like, okay, that's cool. Like, I'm all in for this. So
that Netflix version just, I don't think works in a wider superhero universe.
It does not.
They've got to kind of tweak him a little bit so that he fits.
Yeah,
he's got to be a little comic booky.
Yeah.
So I'm the opposite. Cliff had low expectations. I don't think my expectations could have been higher. Like, this was right at the top of my most anticipated list. Like, I was so excited for this movie. I loved where the last movie left off, where we had this whole trilogy where he goes from wanting to be Iron Man Jr. to learning with great power comes great responsibility. So we turned him from the MCU, Tom Holland Spider-Man, into the comic book Spider-Man that I love. So we were starting off on that ground level, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. They kept everything close to the vest. I didn't know who the main villain was. Like, they did a great job marketing it and not spoiling stuff. So I was all in. I was ready. And I liked the other three a lot. So, like, I knew I was probably going to like this one. So I had very high hopes. And it pretty well met them. I've got a few little, like, they could have done this better. But it's so minor that I have no real problem. I just felt like this was the most sincere Marvel movie. Because there's a lot of emotion going on. Peter's got issues. Like, we're dealing with lost love and duty and regret and all this heavy things Spider-Man always deals with. But I just kept waiting for the quips. Marvel always undercut stuff, the serious moments, with a joke. And this one really didn't. And, like, there were a couple moments I kind of winced, like, okay, when's the joke coming? And it never did. I'm like, wow, they're not afraid to be sincere and have emotion in this movie. And I thought that was great.
That's what sells. When you say that, though, that reminds me, I always tell people, like, I know this is a side note, but this is really right with what you're saying. Like, I've been a best man 5 times. And so, and I can give a good speech and say, well, what do you want to do for the speech? It was like, I'm going to be sincere. So everybody thinks I'm going to get up there and tell a joke. And, people, notoriously, best men get up there and say, oh, one night, blah, blah, blah. It's like the secret is don't. Get up there and be sincere, and it will surprise everybody. And it's like, that's Spider-Man. What do you expect? The quips. That character is quippy as heck. You can't stop it. And to not do that, everybody is going to prefer the sincere. Everyone wants that tug at their heartstrings.
And I liked the Sadie Sink character. Everybody kind of knew who she was going to be. It was kind of known leading up to it. But as the movie starts and, like, the stuff, I'm like, I couldn't figure out who the villain was. I was like, wait, is it the Hood? Is it, what psychic character despite, like, I was like trying to process who could this be?
I did think of the Hood also because the hand was there.
Yeah.
And I remember that
mystic?
run. Yeah.
So, yeah, I was, like, trying to guess. I knew Jean Grey was in this movie, and I was still trying to guess who the psychic villain was. Yeah. So it was some kind of twist that I guess I didn't see coming. again, that's still weird. Like, the X-Men are in their infancy. Like, we got a lot of room to go, so I don't mind. There was one review that talked about how every X-Men movie and cartoon and everything does the Dark Phoenix saga, because that's Jean's most interesting moment in comics. And it's like, that was her, how'd they word it? That was her going bad. I forget what the
or
word
breaking
was, but
bad.
it was like, it's more interesting to start bad and go good, instead from going from the naive young girl going bad. So now we start with, like, she's bad with a chip on her shoulder. It's like, okay, now we're going to watch her arc turn good. That could be an interesting Jean Grey.
Yeah.
That's cool. But it just didn't quite feel like it paid off the mutant stuff. I really didn't think he was going to grow 6 arms. But then I also kind of halfway through the movie, I thought, he might. I don't know. This might happen. So, like, that was okay, we know all this stuff. We know that, there's something wrong with his DNA, and we know they're introducing X-Men soon. So, like, that's my immediate assumption. The plot line in the animated series in the 90s, he started mutating, so he goes to the X-Men for help. They're the experts in mutation. So that's my thinking. We're going to set up mutation in this universe with Peter going through it. We're going to introduce more mutants. And it doesn't... So I don't care that it didn't do what I thought it was going to do, but it also didn't really pay off.
Yeah.
He started mutating, and it was just like, I better stop doing that. Yeah. Like, there was no real...
I think the only payoff to me is I think that he has done something that they're going to use. Like, he has created this thing to stop this, and that he's going to be the one that created the thing that's used against them. So, I don't know. I did think, like, I thought it was so weird. I think I really liked the movie. Really, really did. But, like, him shooting, Punisher shooting that at the end, it just seemed like so careless and just like such shoved in there to make that happen. I was like, come on. Like, is he that crazy? Like,
Frank's got better trigger discipline than that. Come on.
Exactly. And then the whole, like, him wanting to protect her. She's good. She's good. I was like, I saw her put a guy in traffic and let him get hit by a bus. A totally innocent guy.
How many people did she kill in this movie?
Right. I don't know, but it seemed
to
like
atone for. Yeah.
I'm like, we didn't talk about any of that. Just like that was like all forgotten at the end. I'm like, geez.
So yeah, it doesn't really, it introduces Jean Grey, but it doesn't set up the X-Men, which is fine. That's not this movie's job, but everyone was going in. Oh, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to set up the X-Men.
When did he save the Punisher? On Staten Island.
They're saying that's the new Budapest joke of, like,
is
you and I
it
remember
is?
Budapest.
Yeah,
very
it's
different.
been all off. Yeah, it was an off-camera joke. Yeah.
They just referenced it too much for me, for it not to be something we're supposed to know, because I just was like, I need the editor to tell me what issue that is.
Yeah, we need to come with an asterisk down the bottom. So my minor gripes are, I love the movie, but the things I didn't love, again, the mutation story is interesting. There's a couple that happens to Peter a couple times in the comics, but it just didn't. Are we going to still be dealing with that in the next movie? Is he still going to be spidering out? Like, I don't need any more of that. I wish it had kind of wrapped up.
I think that was just Sony has not had a very good track record with other Spider-Man universe movies, and it was a, hey, I think we're too afraid to take it this far. What if everybody goes, oh, this is silly?
I think they used that just to get him to do the sciencey stuff, and that was just a vehicle, and I assume that'll be dropped. But the great stuff, the thing I love about it, and most people loved about it, I'm sure, is the personal stuff. Like, we loved the whole thing with the trio, like getting them back together, getting them to recognize each other in whatever way, whether it makes any sense or not here and there. Like, I literally teared up when they did the handshake. Like, that just was like, and I know that earlier something had made me feel that way. Like, I was just like, they did that stuff well, and I don't know whether any of it makes any sense or not.
Aunt
but
May stuff killed for me too. Like
I wanted to say something about this. Like when I've rewatched those movies, like you did in the last few weeks, and I thought No Way Home was way better the second time. I feel like this is my public apology to Jesse when we ranked our Marvel movies, and he was just like, we were so low on No Way Home compared to him, and I was like, I get why he was like, we may have been like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. Like, but it's a really good movie, and the only thing I think they really flubbed in that movie is her death. It's so awkward. It's so bad, and it could have been the greatest moment to me. Like the whole her giving him the great power and great responsibility is awesome and everything, but it's so awkward when she just falls down and is dying, and I'm like, man, you guys screwed that up terribly. And it's like, so I liked getting to see this scene, and here it was like a better scene with her than that, you know. Yeah, all that is good. I love that. I love the way that, you know, Jean Grey used. I mean, it's kind of dark. Like, how forgivable is this character? I don't know, but she it's really dark to freaking use MJ and kiss him and all, you know, all this stuff. It's like she is being evil, you know, with some of this stuff. But they did such a good job.
I think through these movies, I do think they've done well. I mean, people really like the MJ and the Ned Leeds characters.
Absolutely.
At this point, but it's still like, I don't know. You guys always say, just do the comics. Just do the comics. And I'm still like, would this be better had they just, you know, had Mary Jane? I mean, looking back at it now, like, I mean, Zendaya is great. I like her, but it almost
I like
throws
this
me
because
off
it feels different. It feels different. I like this.
It did feel like they were kind of hedging their bets. Like, well, she's not really Mary Jane. Like, if they wanted to introduce the real Mary Jane later, like, it always felt a little bit like them not quite sure.
Right.
They were confident enough to do it.
I don't know. I like this. I like that they did this.
It's cemented itself now that it's.
Yeah.
So I think my only real issue was it didn't feel, you know, these movies always have a villain, and like, okay, if Jean's the villain, you know, she's not really the villain. She's she's in trouble. Pete has to see.
Yeah, but Punisher's not really the hero. So
he's not the hero or the villain.
He's the star villain, is what he is in this movie.
The villain then has to become damage control.
Yeah.
Which is just seems shoehorned in by what they've established what damage control is from, you know, what Vulture was working for. You know, they're there to clean up the mess, and then all of a sudden they're like taking over for S.H.I.E.L.D. in some of these recent movies, and now they're like conducting these experiments, and it's like they've really just made damage control whatever they need it to be for whatever movie they're doing. And that really extends to the hand in this. Why was the hand involved whatsoever?
Because that was cool.
It looked cool. It looked very cool.
It was a cool fight.
It was a good trailer. It was good for the trailer, but it's like,
I love that fight, so that's why they're there.
I agree.
If that's not gonna bring Daredevil to the mix, like, why have the hand involved? So
I kept waiting. Like, he's been, you know, he's done the cameo. Like, he's a good lawyer. Where is he? You know.
So that guy, the guy that was Tillman from.
He's from the Apple show.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank.
Whatever it's called.
So he's very good. He was very intimidating, but like, I just don't think Damage Control is a great overall villain to have. And my other biggest gripe is still the technology, the AI. Pete is using a one-man surveillance state. He's doing the Dark Knight thing where he's doing facial recognition, and like a cop just jokes about it. Like, yep, you're violating all these people's civil liberties, Pete. We're going to have a conversation about that. It's like, that's not heroic. That's not good. We're like, read the room. America does not like flock cameras.
Right.
They do not like being surveilled. They don't like data centers. They don't like this stuff. And like we're having our hero do it. So that was just kind of brushed off, like, oh, he's invading everyone in the city's privacy, but he's a good guy, so who cares? So
yeah, I'm kind of surprised that
a little shrugged off.
I'm kind of surprised that one of the stars didn't. It's like they're the only ones that are going to stop it. If they say they're and that's happened. Like they just say, no, we're not. I'm not doing that. You're not going to portray me doing that. It's like, so I'm surprised that somebody didn't say, hey, this is not good. I forgot about it. Yeah, they had Jean DeWolf. When I heard him say her name, I went, well, that's cool. I remember, like, I always wonder what made me buy that issue. I only had a handful of Spectacular Spider-Man issues, but I had the full, black suit, Jean DeWolf, the Sin storyline stuff, and I was like, I loved that stuff. I was like, but she didn't do it. She lived.
Yeah, I liked her. I like Pete being alone. Just reaching out. The cute girl in his apartment. Like he's brokenhearted. He's on the job 24/7. But I just had it just killed me. That meant so much to me at the end of that last movie when they showed the sewing machine. That is one of my favorite shots in any of these Marvel movies. Because Pete, for 3 movies, had a fabricator and Tony Stark technology and could do literally anything. He could call down bombs from space. He could create nanotechnology, whatever. But by the end of that movie, they'd made him Peter Parker again, and he was sewing his own costume. And that is such the iconic image of me, of a single guy in his apartment, with a ripped up costume, got to get it sewed back together to go out and fight more crime. Like, that's Spider-Man. And like, then to start this movie at that point where he's talking to AI and has all this technology, has this whole suite of computers, and it's like, oh, we were there. We had got to the right point, and you still stuck with it.
Yeah,
but
you're right.
They got his character so right that I could overlook it by that point, but it just felt like, ugh, you missed that opportunity.
I will say, watching those movies, back to back, like some people giving him guff for the Odyssey, and I thought he was, totally fine in the Odyssey. Like he's definitely playing a different character, but it's like he is meant to play Spider. Like he's just so much better at playing that character than anything else that he's ever been in.
And he still looks young. I like that we aged. They went all through college. Like we've progressed.
Yeah.
The timeline here, but I think he could keep playing Spider. He doesn't have to grow old and gray or whatever. But that's the interesting thing. We've had some casting for X-Men, where Samara Weaving is going to be Emma Frost, who she's in her 30s. Yeah. So are we going to have like multiple generations? Are we going to have teachers and students when the X-Men show up? So are the X-Men going to be teenagers again? Are they going to be in school?
Yeah.
And we're going to have some, Magneto and an Emma Frost and like an older generation teaching them. So
seems that way.
If we can have teenage X-Men, we can have 30-year-old Peter Parker. That's fine. Let's let him keep doing movies. We don't need to recast at this point.
Eventually, they'll get to Miles. That's the casting I'm curious about.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, if they get that right, that's going to be awesome. All right.
I think Feige has said he has plans through like 2042 or something for these movies.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
We'll see if we make it.
Like Spaceballs. They laid out the next 25 years.
What a troll. That was awesome.
All right, there you have it. Spider-Man Brand New Day. #1 at the box office. Screwed up all of our lists. We're almost to the end point of the Summer Movie Challenge.
Yeah, we got 4 weeks left, something like that. We got Toy Story's liable to be in 3rd place pretty soon. So
is there any other big ones still to come, or have we had all the?
Nah, that's about it.
the biggies of.
Now it's just seeing where they land.
If anything else makes the top 10, I'll be surprised. So we'll see.
All right, check back in on that very soon. Check out our TeePublic site where you can get some sweet T-shirts and sweatshirts and merchandise.
I need one.
It has
you better get a shirt. You better buy a shirt so you can have some clothes.
Yeah.
Check out
our jukebox Bissling dress. He'll put that on.
You're the only one who should wear the jukebox Bissling.
It's a clean the house outfit.
Check out our Patreon. We would love to have more patrons. We'd love to give you some more bonus content.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
$1 a month.
See me with my shirt off.
Yeah.
You can get a peek. You get a sneak peek at the gun show here.
Yeah. little nip slip. Maybe if you're lucky.
We haven't done fake noodles. How long has it been since we done
Oh, man, it's been a while. Yeah. Yeah, those noodles
Fake
are pretty
noodles,
stale at this
true.
point. Yeah.
So we like doing this bonus content you don't hear on the regular feed. So check out that Patreon. See what it's all about.
It's fun.
Check out SoProComics.com.
My boys are so pro.
We are cooking with some new stuff. We got a bunch of books in the hopper, and they're about to hit the airwaves. So check those out. Check out Asylum Comics in Marietta, Ohio.
Heard of
You want to buy some Spider-Man books? I got a lot of them. I got shelves full of Spider-Man books. So come get them.
There's webs and everything. And he's had those ready.
He'll let you read them on the rug in the front of the store.
Come hang out.
I love that rug. I love the rug and the soap dish or whatever it is.
Oh man, yes, exciting stuff. More cons coming up. More trips. I can't wait. I'm
going tomorrow. Get to go to Columbus. A bunch of us. A friend of mine's moving to Florida apparently, and so 7 or 8 of us are going up to that Fogo de Chao Brazilian steakhouse for a going away dinner. So
that's pretty sweet. Yeah. Love the steak.
Like meat. I got the meat
politics,
sweats just thinking about
meat sweats. Oh boy. Yeah, Brazilian steakhouse.
So come around with all your meat on a stick.
Mm-hmm.
Carve it off onto your plate.
As much as you want. As much as you care to eat.
Say I know I've learned I've been before. I know when I see the guy coming with the chicken legs on a stick, I'm gonna be like, just keep on walking, buddy.
Yeah.
Come back when you got some freaking filet.
Yeah. Nothing but steak and shrimp.
Try to fill me up on chicken legs. That's not happening. Give me the sirloin, filet mignon. I'm ready. Anyway, it'd be nice to see them.
Yeah.
There you have it. We will be back soon. My name is Jordan Lowe.
Cliff Barnes.
I'm Seth. Bye forever.
All right.
All right. I'm leaving. I'm hungry.
Okay. Enjoy your dinner.
Later.
Don't burn your shirtless self. Don't fry anything. Thanks for listening to Ka-Pow, the Pop Culture Podcast. The best way to support the show is by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/YouDownWithKPP. Catch every episode on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, or wherever you listen. And check us out online at podbean.com. Stay connected with us on YouTube and TikTok for extra content, or send us an email anytime at Ka-Pow, the Pop Culture Podcast @gmail.com. All sounds, clips, and media played are the property of their copyright holders. All original content is the property of Ka-Pow, the Pop Culture Podcast. We'll be back soon with more fun, more laughs, and more pop culture. But until then, ask everybody you know. You down with KPP?